Hey people, it's Niaz talking. Now I wanted to tell you about this story that I came across. It's called China's Training for Strikes on US Targets. China's military is likely training for strikes against US and allied targets in the Pacific, a Pentagon report warns. The annual report to Congress says China is increasing its ability to send bomber planes further afield. The report highlights its increasing military capability, including defense spending, estimated 190 billion, a third that of the US. China has not yet commented on the report. The warning about airstrikes is one part of a comprehensive assessment of China's military and economic ambitions. Over the last 3 years, the PLA, People's Liberation Army, has rapidly expanded its overwater bomber operating areas, gaining experience in critical maritime regions, and likely for training for strikes against the US and allied targets, the report said. It goes on to say that it's not clear what China is trying to prove by such flights. It's very obvious what they're trying to prove. It's to say, we can get you, and they have the same capacity as you. Oh well. The PLA may demonstrate the capability to strike US and allied forces and military bases in the western Pacific Ocean, including Guam. The report adds, China, it says, is restructuring its ground forces to fight and win. The purpose of these reforms is to create a more mobile, modular, lethal ground force capable of being the core of joint operations, the report says. China's military budget is expected to expand to 240 billion over the next 10 years, according to the assessment. It also highlights China's growing space program, despite its public stance against the militarization of space. In June, President Donald Trump announced his intention to set up a sixth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces, a Space Force. Where are the areas of tension? The U.S. is concerned about China's growing influence in the Pacific, where Washington still plays a major role. One of the most high-profile areas is the South China Sea, much of it claimed by China and other countries. The U.S. military regularly seeks to demonstrate freedom of navigation by flying over the South China Sea. China has been expanding what appear to be military facilities and islands and reefs in the area, and has landed bombers on the outposts during training exercises. Another flashpoint is Taiwan, which is seen by China as a breakaway province. The document warns that China is likely preparing for a contingency to unify Taiwan with China by force. Should the United States intervene, China will try to delay effective intervention and seek victory in a high-intensity, limited war of short duration, the report says. In a nod to China, the U.S. cut formal ties with Taiwan in 1979, but continues to maintain close political and security ties, which irks Beijing. The U.S. also continues to maintain a substantial military presence in Japan, which has its own territorial disputes with China and the Philippines. Tensions also continue in the non-military sphere. The U.S. and China have announced tariffs on a range of each other's goods. Okay, and where else is it going? Well, the rise in the maritime militia. While the bulk of the Pentagon's annual China report focuses on Beijing's rapidly developing military capabilities. Okay, well, look, I'm not going to read the whole story. I'm going to post the link in the description. But I want to do my own commentary. Now, we've seen with China and the US engaging in trade wars, and one of my subscribers, Creole Lady, said, could I do a story on whether we're getting closer to World War III? I think it is. If you look at the past of World War I, and more specifically World War II, we saw economic uncertainty, belligerent leaders, alliances, military buildups, and just a world full of uncertainty, which made war more likely. And remember, aggressive leaders, and I'm not talking about the Chinese, I mean Trump. If you think about what Hitler wanted, was he was emboldened to attack Poland because a lot of people didn't stand up to him. And Hitler, aggression was obviously created by people not standing up to him. And Trump is being emboldened because no one is really standing up to him domestically. Like, he's being given the free rein to do what he wants. The Republicans are not challenging him. And this is going to make him more and more reckless because publicly and domestically and in the international arena, he's getting his own way. And if he keeps doing that, because his mouth is allowing him to, will make it just, what's the word? His mouth is writing a check that the America can't sign. Anyway, Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace, family.